and I just hear, "Where is she? Where is she?" And this was the moment where I thought everything was over. I mean, I thought I was going to die. All of these people who want to tell us to move on are doing so at their own convenience. These are the same tactics of abusers. And I'm a survivor of sexual assault. And I haven't told many people that in my life. But when we go through trauma compounds on each other.
You do not see that very often in American public life, let alone in American politics. Bravo to Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for opening up with an incredibly personal and gripping and powerful account of the Capitol attack, the insurrection, comparing calls from her Republican colleagues to move on to tactics deployed by abusers familiar to sexual assault victims like herself, as she said there. Her deeply moving explanation of the day's events, in which she describes hiding in a bathroom and mistaking a Capitol police officer who she says was angry and hostile with her for a rioter. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Linda Sanchez of California, who we spoke with on this program as that day unfolded. You have stuck with me every day that I have covered this, that the night before the insurrection, you called your husband and told him where your will was. And I know we've spoken since, but I saw you tweeted today you're still reeling, and I wanted to start by asking you how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for asking. It was traumatic, and I think what people don't understand is, you know, members of Congress who experience that, we're still picking up the pieces. We're still trying to process it. We're still trying to heal ourselves. And we're getting all this pressure from everybody to do this, do that. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. Or just get over it, get beyond it. And what people don't understand is you have to process it, you have to heal. You have to, in order to move on, feel like somebody takes responsibility for what happened and that there is accountability for what happened. Otherwise, you really can't heal and move on. And it is, as my colleague said, you know, a tactic that abusers use. They abuse you. You're hurting, you're reeling, and they cavalierly say, well, just move on, let's forget about it and move on. You cannot move on without healing, and you cannot heal without that sense of accountability.
What do you hear from your Republican counterparts, save for the 10 that voted with Democrats in the bipartisan impeachment of Donald Trump? Is it denial? Is it political pressure? Why isn't this an all against insurrection moment for the Congress?
That's what I don't understand, because I will tell you, in those moments of that insurrection, the mob was not defining who was a Democrat versus who was a Republican. They were coming for all of us. All of us could have lost our lives that evening. And they specifically were looking for Vice President Pence, who is a Republican. I mean, the crowd was not discriminating, and had they breached that chamber with the members in it, I can tell you there would have been casualties on both sides of the aisle. I cannot fathom why I have colleagues, Republican colleagues, who refuse to denounce those actions, who refuse to stand up and hold the president that incited these people to account. It escapes me why they would continue to repeat these lies unless, A, they don't live in reality, B, it's politically expedient for them and for their own wishes of power to deny what happened, or C, they're nihilists and they just don't care what happens. But any way you look at it, it is frightening. It is tense having to work with people that you feel like don't want to acknowledge what happened or denounce it in any way. And, you know, as I laid, as you know, huddled in my office in the dark with a baseball bat in my hand and the door barricaded, you know, waiting to see if these, rioters and secessionists and insurrectionists would reach me, I thought to myself, there is no way that our president should get any glory for inciting hate and insurrection. And as I sat there, I vowed that I would introduce a bill, and I have, that would prohibit anything that has a penny of federal money in it from being named after him. And it would also strip him of all of the benefits and honors that former presidents get. So he would not get a travel budget or a staff budget or a pension, because you cannot be a traitor to democracy and this country and profit from it, in my view.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.